And SEBI has issued the final guidelines for portfolio management services firms. The new rules put a cap to charges levied by portfolio managers, move from upfront to trail. So there are some changes that will happen to how business is conducted. Ashish Somaya, the MD and CEO of Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company, which houses both an AMC and a PMS, I reckon, joins in right now with his thoughts. Ashish, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I presume you oversee both the businesses. How does the landscape change for both in the wake of the notification by SEBI yesterday?
Yeah, I'm responsible for both. And I think that in the recent times, the regulatory approach has been to work towards making these products, especially when you talk about PMS as well as mutual fund actually. In both, over a successive number of regulatory changes, the effort has been to make them cheaper from a client's perspective, no doubt about it. Make it more transparent from a client's perspective. And third is also to make these offerings more simple and standardized and comparable across peers. So this is more further step in that direction. And what has come about yesterday has, I think, mainly 2 or 3 elements to it. The first being that just like mutual funds have a intermediated plan, which we call a regular plan commonly, and then there is a direct plan which has no intermediary. The same way now they're expecting that in a portfolio management service as well, since these offerings are also carried by intermediaries. For the discerning customers or knowledgeable customers in PMS also, they want us to ensure that a direct approach is enabled. Apart from that, I think the commission practices, like that in mutual funds, they're not allowed to charge any upfront fee, and at the same time, they're not able to pay anything upfront to the intermediary. So I think even the PMS business is being aligned to this. All in all, my sense is that for people who are discerning investors, long-term investors, and who would like to hold on to a set of stocks, I think PMS is a superior platform. Whereas a mutual fund obviously is more amenable to, a mass retail hold.
Okay. Now I wonder, Ashish, so that is, thanks for that answer. The second question is then, therefore, what does it do to the operations and the profitability and of a firm which houses a PMS? I was speaking to one of your peers who said that they used to charge upfront. Now they'll have to move to trail. But he said, he kind of off air, of course, dismissed it as a one-off change that it won't hamper them, if at all will hamper the distributors. What would your thought be?
Yeah, yes, it is, even from the intermediary's perspective, I think that when you convert upfront into trail, I think it's more a cash flow kind of situation. So clearly for the asset management company, I don't expect any impact on the profitability because in fact, if we don't pay any upfront, then clearly it has other ancillary benefits, which is that, any kind of escalations, any kind of even a minor scope of mis-selling, all of that is out of the window. Secondly, personally, like I said even a minute back, I'm personally quite passionate and sincerely believe that for a long-term investor who wants to hold a bunch of stocks, given that in a PMS, your demat account, hence your holdings and your cash flows are isolated from the behavior of a large retail pool, which otherwise a mutual fund happens to be. So given that setup, I personally feel that a PMS is a superior vehicle for a long-term discerning investor. So from that perspective, I think that if anything is done to make the PMS product maybe cheaper, maybe more transparent, then given the other advantages, I think it only furthers what I believe in. On your last question, I think, yes, there could be potentially an impact for distributors' retention, not because of upfront becoming trail. That's not the point. Like I said, that's only got to do with cash flows. But yes, where it could be is that now, just like mutual funds have commission disclosures, a PMS will also have a commission disclosure. Till now, PMS has always been very transparent, right? If you're a PMS customer and if I'm charging you 2%, example, then every month, 2% divided by 12 roughly is the fee which I'm charging you. So let's say for ease of calculation, it is 16 basis points. Then every month, you do get a statement which shows you how that 16 basis points has been debited. So mutual PMS has always been more transparent. Now it has gone one step further where they say that if you're charging 16 basis points a month, further, please let the customer know out of the 16 basis points, what is with the asset manager and what is with the intermediary. So you will actually have more transparency. You will have a better informed customers, which could put some, so if you have more information, then definitely you want to question it a little bit more. And I think that results in some back and forth. But I don't think the basic premise or proposition of the PMS service only becomes more attractive according to me.
Okay. On that note, then, Ashish, take a moment to thank you for joining in today and giving us your thoughts on these changes that have been announced.
Thank you.